Excuse me, sorry, just.
Hello everybody, welcome in. Today we're going to be talking about Miss J Law, or better known as Jennifer Lawrence. She was arguably one of the most groundbreaking it girls to be introduced to the industry. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I remember a time in my youth when I was in my early teens and Jennifer Lawrence really blew up and she dominated every single movie screen, and she really was at the peak of her career. Not to say that she's not successful now, but she really made a great groundbreaking debut for somebody who was barely introduced to the industry. So we're going to analyze what happened to her career and why she's been laying so low for the last couple of years and where she's at now. Now, every single actor or upcoming actor has their peak moment of their career. Think about the actors you know and really evaluate when you couldn't stop seeing them everywhere on social media, TV, and movies. It's just like no one stopped talking about them. Let's also think about who is really shining right now. We're going to be talking about female actresses specifically. I would say that Jenna Ortega is really in her moment right now because of Scream, Wednesday, plus she's working on so many other projects. Sydney Sweeney was arguably one of the most popular actresses from Euphoria, especially in 2022, and she was in a bunch of other shows as well. Florence Pugh is another incredible actress that I think deserves a lot more credit than she gets. The point is, we have so many new it girls and they all get their moment to shine and really establish their names in the industry. However, I feel like Jennifer Lawrence's rise to fame was a bit different compared to the other it girls that we see today. Jennifer's career was at its peak about a decade ago when the first Hunger Games movie was released in 2012. She was only about 21 years old at the time, and she was considerably breaking barriers that no one had done before. The reason being was that she seemingly came in with no facade, and what we saw was what we got. She ate pizza at the Oscars, she took shots before acceptance speeches, had a pretty raunchy or relatable humor for that era, burped in interviews, tripped on stages. Basically, she was a human just like the rest of us. Personally, if it were me at an event, I would have been looking for the drinks and the food just like her too, because we're human. That's what we go to events for. We're trying to enjoy the food and the drinks there. But I guess in Hollywood, image is really important, and most celebrities want to be perceived in a certain way, so they care a little bit more about what they say and do. So that's why the world fully embraced Jennifer at that time, because she was a breath of fresh air. Not to say she was completely disrespectful and mannerless, it's just that she was human and she was real. She wasn't just for the girls, but she was for the guys too. Jennifer is considered one of the guys. She'll crack a beer open with you and watch the game. Basically, she's not like other girls.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in.
She was a relatable celebrity, and a lot of people loved that authenticity about her. We viewed her as quote unquote not like other girls or celebrities because her personality came off as so real and carefree compared to what other celebrities acted like. I'm telling you, girls wanted to be like her. She basically invented the quirky, not like other girls personality type.
What went through my mind when I fell down? A bad word that I can't say that starts with F.
What was the process of getting ready? How many people helped you? Very happy for you.
I'm just cross-eyed. The process? I don't know. I just woke up and tried on the dress and it fit, thank God. And then I took a shower and I don't know what I was... That's what I did, and then I got my hair and makeup done. And then I came to the Oscars. I'm sorry, I did a shot before I... Sorry.
The whole no filter, not like other girls persona basically became her brand. There were a ton of memes and gifs of Jennifer going around that time of her drinking champagne at events, making funny faces, tripping over and over again, burping in a couple interviews, fangirling when Jack Nicholson approached her at the red carpet. There are so many more moments that made her go viral and more popular than she already was. She was kind of crowned the cool girl of Hollywood, and at some point she was considered plus size. I mean, does the girl look plus size? There's absolutely nothing wrong with being plus size, but Jennifer Lawrence is literally the definition of a conventionally attractive woman in terms of looks and body type. Maybe around 2012, when the beauty standards were a bit different, her body was not up to Hollywood's ideal standards of what a slim body looks like. She claimed that the biggest conversation during filming for Hunger Games was actually her weight. They told her to lose weight. I know that many people lose and gain weight for acting roles, but I don't necessarily understand why they made her lose weight for the role of Katniss when she wasn't big to begin with. Plus, her weight and her size was not an essential factor in the role. I'd understand if it was, though. I think it's ridiculous, though, because look at her nowadays. She's slim, and now that the body trends have changed, she's considered normal. But I think it's harmful that the media reinforced this idea that she's plus size, because she's definitely not. And if anybody has a bigger body type than hers, they'd probably feel pretty bad about themselves, but I digress. Another important part of her career was the introduction of the entire Hunger Games trilogy, because obviously she is Katniss Everdeen, who represented a badass female lead that broke a lot of barriers. It is impressive that she managed to make a name for herself in Hollywood so that she isn't known as Katniss forever. I know her as Jennifer Lawrence. She's extremely talented, and her skill and work ethic definitely shows in movies like Silver Linings Playbook, Don't Look Up, which only recently came out in 2021, and Mother. Mother is a really crazy movie, but Jennifer's acting in it is top tier. So let me know if you guys have seen it. Also comment down below what your favorite Jennifer Lawrence projects are. So now she holds Hollywood's cool girl title, and at some point she was the highest paid actress in the world. Not to mention her winning her first Oscar at only 22 years old. That's literally only 1 year after her debut into Hollywood. Some actors and stars like Samuel L. Jackson and Jackie Chan, they have been working in the industry for decades and didn't even receive their flowers until 30 plus years after their debuts. Not to say that she's not deserving of those awards, it just goes to show how impactful her work and her mark was in the film industry. Around the mid-2010s, she keeps acting, but she starts to fade away from the spotlight a bit more than when she first came in. She was still extremely famous and well paid, but it wasn't like the beginning of her career. People on the internet started to criticize her for her quirky girl act because they started to believe it was becoming forced. Like an image she felt pressured to maintain for the public. They were saying she was trying too hard, and it seems really phony after she fell multiple times at events. Since this image formed around her and became part of her brand, it seemed really hard for her to shake it off and just do normal things without being criticized. She can't even accidentally trip without people criticizing her and claiming she's putting up an act. A lot of people, including those around her, began not to take her seriously because of this act and this image. It could be a possibility that she was struggling to maintain this image after entering Hollywood with such a strong debut. The world fell in love with Jennifer Lawrence because she was that girl, and maybe she could have been afraid that her success would die down if she didn't keep up with a certain act. She was quiet for a couple years until 2014. Some raunchy pictures from her hacked iCloud got leaked, but it wasn't really considered scandalous. It wasn't shocking to the world like some other stars like Vanessa Hudgens and some other scandals that have been leaked. In this case, people actually enjoyed it and they embraced Jennifer Lawrence and her leaked pictures. And if you were there at the time, you know how the internet was feeling when these pictures came out. People actually sort of applauded her for this because they viewed her as this confident, sexy woman that embraced her sexuality and femininity. And this was unfortunately due to her cool girl, laid back and carefree personality. People thought she wouldn't care or react because she's just such a chill person and she'll just go with whatever flow. However, she did an interview with Vanity Fair magazine and she claimed that she didn't enjoy the photos being leaked. Jennifer states, "Just because I'm a public figure, just because I'm an actress, does not mean that I asked for this. It does not mean that it comes with the territory. It's my body and it should be my choice, and the fact that it is not my choice is absolutely disgusting. I can't believe we even live in that kind of world." She went off, and she's absolutely right. They had no right leaking those private photos that were meant for her and only whoever she wanted to send it to. This was the first time the public saw Jennifer enraged, and she finally broke her cool, quirky girl image. She wasn't just going to accept the disrespect because others may have expected her to. As charming and charismatic as she can be, she definitely has the right to be upset and speak out if she pleases. She really showed everyone that as cool as she can be, she isn't a pushover. This is the moment when she started to break out of that brand image that was created around her, almost limiting her in certain areas. She wasn't taken as serious when she was vocal about the social and political issues going on, nor was she taken serious when she was drinking on red carpets. People basically started to criticize her for every move and breath that she would make. My observation is that so many people were used to seeing her in a certain image, being the cool, quirky girl that stayed away from politics and anything that would kill the vibe. She kept it cute and cool, and she didn't want to cause any problem. But when she decides to start speaking up for herself and others around her, it becomes a problem. It's mainly because people see what they want to see and hear what they want to hear. And in this case, they missed Jennifer when she was that girl. But let's keep in mind that she's growing up, and she entered the spotlight at age 21. The interview was when she was in her mid-20s, and I'm sure she grew a lot during that period. She became more vocal about her experiences with double standards and sexism in the industry. Times did get more political, and we see a ton of entertainers, including movie stars, TV actors, and musicians getting more involved. I'm not surprised that Jennifer Lawrence wants to participate in the conversation. She realized that she has such a huge platform and impact despite not being on social media, and she has donated millions of dollars to multiple charities and programs to help other people. And around this time, she was already in her late 20s now. She broke out of that quirky, cool girl image and started to rebrand herself as a new woman. Jennifer's career was at an all-time high in the early 2010s. She is arguably one of the most influential celebrities of the 2010s. And the crazy part is that she isn't even someone who engages in the fame and social media. From what I know, she doesn't have any social media. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if she does, it's most likely controlled by management. She doesn't strike me as someone who is fame hungry or cares about that type of attention. What's great about celebrities like her is that they have a job to do, they clock in and they clock out. They're solely there to do their job, which is to act, create, entertain, put their work out into the world. I didn't even know she was married in 2019, and all of a sudden she was pregnant out of nowhere. And that's how private she is. She is only in the media when she's a part of a new project. She's kind of like a Keanu Reeves, a super humble guy that everyone loved mainly because of his humility. You don't hear about them in any drama, and you only hear about them in their work. We've recently seen her make a comeback in movies like Don't Look Up, where she acted alongside so many big A-list names: Leonardo DiCaprio, Ariana Grande, Timothée Chalamet, Jonah Hill, Meryl Streep, and even Kid Cudi, which, side note, I really like Kid Cudi's acting. I know he's mainly an artist, but he was great in X, and he needs to book more acting gigs. I just know the budget for that movie though must have been fat for all those A-listers. She also has this new movie coming out called No Hard Feelings, where she plays an unemployed Uber driver that basically goes broke, so she takes an offer from this couple that wants her to take their son out on a couple dates because he's a loser. Now that I'm explaining, it sounds so funny and wrong, but if you watch the trailer, it's a rom-com. Jennifer is 32 now, and her career has had its highs and lows. I wouldn't really say lows because she's still in the game. She's probably laid low, that's what I mean. But her quirky girl brand that the world fell in love with and fully embraced has faded away, and she's become a new version of herself that doesn't feel forced or pressured. Yeah, she might eat pizza and drink champagne on red carpet, may be the inventor of the quirky girl persona, but she is still human and she's not a walking brand or a personality type. I believe she recognized the power and influence she has as being one of the biggest actors in the world. She actually told Vanity Fair in an interview that she thought the world got sick of her. The criticism had gotten to her, and she couldn't do anything right. She says, "I was not pumping out the quality that I should have. I just think everybody had gotten sick of me. I'd gotten sick of me. It had just gotten to a point where I couldn't do anything right. If I walked a red carpet, it was, why didn't she run?" So it was a lose-lose situation for her. People may miss the old Jennifer, but let's remember that celebrities are human too, and they grow and learn just like us every day. She isn't some walking brand that is expected to be a certain way every single second. She deserves to speak up and feel upset when she wants to without people having to label her as difficult or annoying just because they may have been used to her in another different light. We can't box these celebrities into their brand image because there's so much more than that, and we only see the surface level of their personality. Plus, we do not know them in their real life. Jennifer Lawrence is definitely more than just the gifs and the memes we saw a decade ago, though. She's a humanitarian, incredibly talented actress, multiple awards, and she's a human at the end of the day. We haven't really seen a celebrity with a debut like hers where the entire world loved her for this created persona. I think the reason being is because after seeing the world embrace J-Law, upcoming celebrities and actors felt more comfortable being authentic rather than reinforcing a fake image. I guess you can say she sort of paved a way for those stars that wanted to be a bit more carefree and real on the red carpets and events. That's why it's normalized now to see so many celebrities that don't really follow traditional fame etiquette. That's also why the peak of her career was considered so groundbreaking, and people acted like they have never seen or met someone like her before. So that's all for today's video on Jennifer Lawrence's peak It Girl era. Please comment down below any thoughts and opinions you may have, and I thank you all for watching.